Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hey, what's going on, family? This is Tyler from No Picks Podcast.
Good evening, family. Joe, No Picks Podcast.
Heather here, No Picks Podcast.
All right, listen, family. Today, I wanted to pull up a clip about a pretty disturbing story I saw about 2 days ago on like a Philadelphia website, whatever I get my news from sometimes. So I'm gonna pull this up, and I want y'all genuine reaction to this. All right.
Dude hit with a car and then stabbed. Like, I don't know how you can get any more crazy than that.
Well, in Action News, his attempted rape charge was dropped against a man wrongfully accused after he spent more than a month behind bars. Tonight, the 20-year-old Bucks County woman says she lied about the attack after police said her story didn't add up. Action News reporter Caroline Goggin is live in Middletown Township, Bucks County, with the full story. Caroline.
Well, Rick, this is a story we reported on a month ago. And tonight I spoke with the attorney who represents the man who was accused of attempted rape and kidnapping in this grocery store parking lot. That attorney tells me that that woman's story never added up and that the update in this case is better late than never. 41-year-old Daniel Pearson is home with his family tonight. Out of jail, the Bucks County DA says he was wrongly accused of attempted rape and kidnapping. This is the woman who accused him of those crimes, 20-year-old Angela Yurimova. Police in Middletown Township said Yurimova called them on the night of April 16th, claiming a man grabbed her in the parking lot of the Red Nurse off Lincoln Highway and attempted to pull her pants down while he carried and pulled her back toward his truck. Yurimova said she was able to break free and that he drove away. Police used the license plate reader system that spotted a similar truck nearby. They tracked it to Pearson, and he was held at the Bucks County Correctional Facility on $1 million bail. A new complaint now states Daniel Pearson was charged with multiple felony offenses and remained incarcerated for a total of 31 days before Yurimova admitted to her lies. The complaint states that shortly after his arrest, officials received information from Pearson's family that warranted further investigation. So detectives reviewed surveillance video and found at no point in the video did Pearson's truck travel through any part of the path Yurimova claimed the vehicle took. Yurimova was called to the DA's office for questioning last Thursday, and because of more inconsistencies in her story, she was called back in on Friday. That's when the complaint states Yurimova admitted that she had lied about the entire incident and that no assault occurred. Yurimova said she had seen Pearson in his truck before in the parking lot of her old job and that he was, quote, creepy. All charges against Pearson have been dropped. And now Yurimova is the one facing charges. She is currently in jail and is due back in court sometime later this month. And according to that criminal complaint we got our hands on earlier today, Yurimova told police that she was going to admit to them at some point that she had lied about this entire situation. Tell them that before the court proceedings. She also told police that she admitted to her father that she had lied about all of this. We're live in Middletown Township tonight. I'm Caroline Goggin, Channel 6.
So, y'all saw that. I saw that, and I'm like, bro, we got to talk about this. Anyway, I'm gonna start off with Heather. Heather, what are your initial thoughts?
That is a clear case of guilty until proven innocent. The whole justice system failed that man. There was no, like, if they would have even done the bare minimum of investigative work to identify the trail of the vehicle. And I mean, the bare minimum would have otherwise proved that, number one, it didn't happen. And it certainly wasn't this man. I think that man was failed on the side of justice. Justice was not served. In fact, it was failed. And I think if I were him, I'd be suing the ever living dog shit out of all parties involved.
Yeah. What you think, Joe?
I co-sign all of that. I'm like, hell yeah. I'll co-sign that, and I'll add so believe all women.
No.
Are we still on that? Is that still a slogan or a hashtag? Believe all women? Because
No.
if so, I hope
I haven't seen
it's
it
dead
in a
by
while,
now.
but
Okay,
but
good.
it may not be a slogan, but the shit still happens.
Yeah, it does still happen. Yes, I think
why.
in all cases should be investigated. You're innocent until you're proven guilty, and I stand on that in all cases. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're caught with the gun inside your hand, and you know what I'm saying. Unless you're literally caught red-handed, you're innocent until you're proven guilty, and that's the way it should, be.
Listen, I agree. Listen, I just hate that a man's entire life, not a man, a person, right, But in this situation, it wasn't, man. His entire life, his career, his reputation.
Oh yeah.
His wife probably, if he had a wife, could probably break his family apart. You
Oh
can
my
destroy a man from an accusation like this.
Right.
And she was talking about some, she was gonna say before so that you let that man sit in jail for a
Yeah.
month.
Right.
And when was you know what I mean? And you was going to just rock out until the court date and let him sit in jail knowing he did nothing to you. This. So my initial thought is I'm infuriated by this, bro. So I'm gonna leave it at that. How did you feel at first, bro? Because stuff like this pisses
Bro,
me off, man. It
they
really
said
does.
she was brought up on charges, right? I'm not sure what charges she was brought up on. Right? Probably like falsifying, whatever, some kind of perjury, whatever. But I guarantee you, those charges will be far less of what she should get.
Right.
Right. My personal opinion is that if you accuse somebody of some shit like this, if it's proven, if the detectives and stuff do their work and it's proven that you're lying about what you said, you need to potentially do the same amount of time as you tried to get that man to do.
Right.
So whatever it was, because he'd have been Ruth, right? That SA charge would have been massive, right? So he'd have probably been in jail for like 15, 20 years probably.
Right.
She needs to do 15, 20 years. They need to pass some kind of legislation because there needs to be a precedent that you can't just go out here doing this. And the reason she said was, I seen him around the parking lot a couple of times. He was weird and creepy. So he's weird and creepy. So you gonna try to ruin this man's whole life because he weird and creepy? Like,
Yeah,
come
I
on,
agree.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
When there's no consequence, people act stupid.
Yes.
And we've talked about this before. So if I can say, if I can make claims of SA, and we're saying SA because we don't, YouTube is weird about the word, if I can make a claim about it and then nothing happens to me if I'm proving that it was a lie or if it's wrong, then why not? You know what I mean? Remember that video we made a reaction of, Ty, when the chick was upset with her Uber driver? So she got off the phone and called the cops and said that she was SA'd by the Uber driver.
Right.
Meanwhile, she's laughing and faking tears. And I was just like, it infuriated me.
Yeah.
Because anybody can just say that. And the man's probably got his license suspended.
Right.
He took his car. Like, even if he got back on the road, it's going to take so long before this process goes through it for him to go back to whatever his normal life was, right? But when there's no consequence, people act stupid. When you can get divorced from somebody for absolutely no reason and reconcilable differences and break your family apart and then get child support and alimony and custody of your kids and leave the other party just devastated. There's no consequence to that. You see what I'm saying? So when there's no consequence in place, people will take advantage and people will try to exploit it, or people will just act freaking stupid. And this is an example of that. There's no consequence. Give her the jail time he was supposed to get. I think that's a good one. Put that policy in motion.
Yeah.
If you lied and we found that it's a lie, whatever his sentence would have been or her sentence, you get it now.
I stand on that. That's a great idea.
I think that's fair.
I've been accused of some shit now, and I wish that was how that played out. I went to jail on a humbug. I wish that would have been how that played out.
Because basically what they do is they just like, okay, well, nothing to see here. Keep it moving, right? Keep it like, and so you just get out of jail. You're just like, okay, cool, go live your life now. But guess what? This is I hate stuff like this because this is what I think women don't understand, Joe. You understand because you're a man, but I like when you levy an accusation like that on a man, even when he's proven innocent, no one knows and no one cares.
Right.
They just say, hey, that's the dude that did that thing to that girl. Remember? And but people don't do research on the back end, and they're not going to Google you. They're just like, oh, that's the dude that did that thing, and that right there is a reputation killer.
For sure.
It is. It really is.
It is.
Yeah, it's like a scarlet letter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that you just can't rid of, and you go through society, and people will judge you based on that, even if you didn't do it. Even if you got off, people will still look at you differently. And you're right. This sucks.
And this another thing. She said, I told my dad. The dad should be in jail with you. If the dad knew,
he's an accomplice.
He's an accomplice. He should go to jail with you. And then I guarantee you, she gonna get on a slap of the wrist. Cause just like that chick Carly, whatever, in Georgia, with a slap on the wrist, they fined her like $18,000 for lying. Right. This is the problem though, right? She's just gonna say, oh, well, I was emotionally whatever, and she's going to have her tears, and the fucking judge is going to be like, there, little one, there. Okay, well, just don't do it anymore. That was bad. That man lost 31 days out of his life. Who knows what happened? I mean, I don't know about county jails or whatever, but who knows what happened to that man in there?
Probably got fired. Probably ain't got a job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, 30
30
days off work. Oh, no, you getting replaced. You know what I mean? Like,
because you think he creepy.
The whole situation's sad. The whole situation's sad. She should absolutely suffer a boatload of consequences and be faced with exactly what she tried to set him up to face. 100%, I agree.
And it sets the movement back, right? It's like this whole about protecting women, about getting rid of SA culture, of like holding men accountable, and Me Too, all that. It sets all of that. It makes it look stupid when stuff like this happens, because then it's just like now not all y'all. We know every woman's not like
Right.
that. It really makes the movement look stupid, though.
Right.
It really does.
It's a
Like
bad
this,
look to the whole race. It's
it's
a
a
bad
bad
look. It's a bad
right.
look.
It's a bad look, man. So I
Like
hate that.
stuff like this is the reason why when women say certain things, I need more. I need to hear the story. I need to hear like the story from A to Z. I don't want to hear the cliff notes.
Right.
Like I want to hear like exactly what happened. Like literally what happened. Because
Right.
some stuff you can just pick apart and be like, yo, this don't make sense. Like I told you, I'll tell a story, right? I mentioned it on the pod before. But I'll tell a story. When I was in college. There was this white dude, this Italian dude, and this black dude that were like close friends, right? I knew them. We weren't friends, but I knew them. You know what I mean? And there was this chick they were linking up with, and she was just like a friend, right? But she was like pledging in some sorority, so they all go to this party together, and they all have some drinks, and all three of them go dip out, and they have some fun together. Put it that way, right? The two dudes and the chick, right? All in them together. So the dudes record it. They all having fun. They all they all having a great time, high fiving each other. You mean she's having a good time? You mean rocking out on both ends? It's like so 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 a couple days later, word gets out because people are watching the video. People are like, damn, that's crazy. I'm not gonna say the names, but they're like, bro, that's crazy, blah blah blah. So I mean, she gets embarrassed because word gets out and it gets to her sorority. Her sorority drops her from pledging. I
Okay.
guess because they like, bro, we don't want to be pledging with no hoes. Like, you mean whatever. So she said she gets upset. She goes to the school. She goes to I went to LaSalle. She goes to LaSalle. She's like, yo, I was SA'd by these two dudes. So LaSalle didn't get the cops involved because I feel like a lot of schools do that, right? They don't get the cops and stuff involved. They just like do their own little investigation and they kick you out,
Yeah.
right? So that's basically what happened. But the dudes were like, they were trying to explain their story. They were trying to be like, listen, I got proof. She was feeling it, like she was having fun. Look,
Oh
look, look.
my God.
But but it didn't matter.
They got expelled.
They got expelled and they went to Temple. And it was like kind of like last time I saw him, but it was like it was so messed up that I'm like,
Wow.
it,
That's
it was messed
crazy.
up because I'm like, yo, like she did what she wanted to do voluntarily, but
Right.
then when it got out, she got embarrassed and was like, yo, they SA'd me.
Right.
So
She should
both
have
of the
stood
dudes,
on that. I'm a hoe, and it's a hobby. That's what she should have did.
I mean, so stuff like ever
Yeah,
since
no.
that, other stories that I hear when people be like, oh, this person did this to me, I'll be sitting there with my natty ice in college, like, what else happened?
You're right. There's more to the story.
I'll be sitting there like, sure. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not one of the people that's like, oh, well, she wore that, so she wore it herself. No, because I think you can wear whatever you want, and it is what it is. Like, you can't touch. Like, I can't touch you because you wearing I see your nipple, right?
No.
Like,
Right.
but like, it's not uncommon for women to do things, regret it, and try to get you up out of there because they don't like they don't like the aftermath of it.
That's
Right.
fair. That's
And
fair.
it wouldn't be the
Right.
first time that that's happened. It's just
Right.
because either because they regretted it the next day, then they say they were SA'd, or this is a view I've heard on social media. If I didn't have an orgasm, then it wasn't consensual. Like they'll really
Right.
be like, if I didn't enjoy it,
What?
yeah, I'm telling you, the
What?
stuff
Yeah.
that some of these women say, and that's why I'm
If
just like, yo, why do you think men are like? They don't even talk to women in the workplace no more.
Yeah.
Like men don't want to work around them. Men, don't, you know what I mean? Like people are like turning their phone on record when they're having conversations with women, like behind closed doors or like with one on one. Like we're like afraid because we know that these accusations could follow us for
Your whole life.
years,
Yeah.
and it's too much of a risk. And now women are like, oh, but now men don't talk to us, men don't approach us, men don't hit on us, and it's just like, yeah, because we don't want to be accused of something that we didn't do. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
that's
And also,
unfortunate.
if you're creepy, if you're deemed as less attractive in her eyes, it's creepy. If you're someone that she finds hot, it's sexy flirtation.
Right.
So
Right.
then there's
Right.
that double standard too, where it's like you have to think it's so subjective.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm with you, Ty. I gotta hear all three sides because there's three sides: his, hers, and the truth. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like there's always three sides of the
Yeah.
story. So yeah, but yeah,
But
All
yeah,
right. So
he
we just
was
give our
he,
let's
he
give
was
our final
definitely
thoughts and then let's wrap it up.
all right. Yeah,
So
he was
you
definitely
go ahead, Heather. You
wrongfully.
start.
He was definitely wrongfully arrested, and I think guilty. He was that was a clear display of guilty until proven innocent, and that's not fair. I think women should get their shit together. The ones out here doing that, and in those cases, like you said, get the penalty the other person would have otherwise received, and or an immediate like Baker acting. Like I just think at that point there needs to be a categorized level of mental illness, because any normal thinking person they don't do that. Like they don't think of those things. Like it's not
Right.
something that I think is readily available, that they're capable of even putting on that show, unless you're ill in the brain, right? And so
Right.
I would argue that those folks need to just be taken off the streets, and they're not a representation of us women for sure.
Oh, you said your piece, Joe. Is it over now?
Oh yeah.
All right. So I'll say the same thing. Listen, whatever charges he would, how hard the DA would have went to give that dude the maximum penalty, they need to do the same thing to her. They need to pass some new laws and say, yo, if you accuse a person of something, I mean, let's be honest, it's normally women accusing men of some stuff and getting off scot-free.
Well,
that's normally the case. Now, your situation might be different, right?
I mean,
but it's normally the case to where like the woman is like, yo, this happened to me, and then it didn't happen, and then the justice system's just like, okay, you can go because you got pretty eyes. Like, okay, you're cool. But the guy is just like, damn, what the fuck? Like, now I just gotta be homeless now? Like, the fuck? Like, but anyway,
I come with receipts when I say
right.
everything you described was done with me and to me, and I so see things from a two lanes but very parallel, and I would argue that while I think that it's less. I think that men are equally volatile, less caught.
Okay, I mean, maybe I don't know. I trust your judgment.
Like from the perspective of like this. So, for example, so for example, like a woman don't
talk about no active case now. Don't talk about
no. It's closed. It's closed. It's completely closed. It's closed. So, for example, a woman, like everything we just described tonight, can go through all of those things and then be embarrassed and have to rewalk everything, and so now it becomes a sexual assault. A man can do something equally as heinous to a woman, not be proud of it, have to walk it all the way back, call the police and lie on her, have her arrested, kicked out of her house, her kids taken away, and have to fight for the next 2 years to even get her house back or her kids and all of the things that he ruined. I'd argue
that was oddly specific, but I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, and so with that came aggravated battery with a deadly weapon charges and accusations of being hit. But he said I hit him with a car. He tried to say I hit him with a car and tried to kill him. So, which
I
didn't
saw a video
happen.
like that last week, I think.
It didn't happen, and I was able to prove that it didn't happen, and then charges were brought up on him. And you're right, though, he did get a slap on the wrist, and nothing ever happened. But it was a 2-year process. Anyways, I say that to say, I think that there's more of it out there, just doesn't get spoken about as bad. It's not made, it's not hyped up as much as the Me Too movement and the essays are against men. But it is out there. It is out there. Maybe not equally or as 50-50, but it's there.
All right. Well, listen, family, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what y'all think on this. I can see this starting a nice little conversation. Like, comment, subscribe. What else? Until next time.
Until next time.
Until next time. Right. Just stay away.